reminder to everybody, again, we are recording this meeting. So for families who cannot make it, they can still be able to get the recording. Okay, I think I kick it off a little bit. As a reminder to our families, we post a lot of information on our Blix Schoology page. I'm a parent of a Blix student and I get email notifications whenever something's been posted. So make sure that you are checking our Blix Schoology page. For those of you who use Facebook, we also post a lot of stuff on our Blix Facebook page. The image is right there of the Facebook name, Blix Elementary School Community. Also, as just a point of reference for all of our families, we know that a lot of our financial situations have changed across the nation because of the pandemic. So we have more families than ever who qualify for free and reduced lunch. We understand that currently students are getting free breakfast and free lunch. So some families have thought, oh, I don't need to fill this form out. You're going to want to, because there's other benefits that you can receive beyond the already free and reduced lunch that our kids receive. And so we want to ensure that you do fill the forms out if you need it. It's on our district website. This is the link you want to click on. And there's also available in different languages to fill out the free and reduced lunch form. Again, even though breakfast and lunch is free, families who qualify for a free and reduced lunch will get extra benefits beyond just the free breakfast and lunch that all the kiddos are getting. Okay, I'm going to introduce Joni Hall, our principal, to get us started.
Good morning. So here are some norms for our meeting so that we can get through all the information that we have for you and then make sure that we're answering your questions as well. We're going to have everybody stay muted during the meeting. We'll meet from now until 3:15 and wrap up about then so that we can go out and get our kiddos home for the day. Please put any questions that you have in the chat box. Alyssa and I will follow the chat box and we'll kind of stop at prime times in the middle of our presentation and answer some of those questions. If we don't happen to get to a question that you have during this one, we will either follow up with you afterwards or you can always give us a call and we can answer questions personally as well.
Me, sorry, Joni.
That's okay. Here's our agenda for today. Basically, this is, whoops, we forgot to change 3rd to 4th and 5th grade return main points. We're going to talk about the main points of coming back to school in a cohort model for 4th and 5th graders, our drop off and our pickup procedures, what the schedule looks like now, safety and health guidelines around a pandemic and where we are right now in our safety guidelines, and family support that we have for you. So here are our main points. 4th grade will be returning starting on Monday, March 15th. That's cohort A. If your children are in cohort A, you will be receiving a robo call out from me with your child's cohort later this week. And if you are in cohort B, your child will start on the 18th, which is Thursday. Cohort A comes on Mondays and Tuesdays. Cohort B comes on Thursdays and Fridays. Everybody is in independent learning on Wednesdays. Your Wednesdays, teachers are flexible on Wednesdays. We are requiring them or asking them to do morning meeting and an afternoon meeting, and then they have some flexibility in their day, but it could look like things like small group instruction, office hours, or some work like that. Maybe some whole group as well. It's kind of up to the teacher what that day looks like, as well as some independent learning and some PE and some music opportunities. 5th grade will return beginning on March 22nd for cohort A and March 25th for cohort B. Same drill there. If you're in cohort A, you attend on Mondays and Tuesdays. Cohort B is on Thursdays and Fridays, with Wednesdays for the whole school in independent learning. Please be aware that immunizations are still a thing, and please be updated with that. Our nurse, Latoya Valise, has been fastidiously reaching out to families to make sure that you understand if your children have an immunization that they need to get or several, and also if your child has a healthcare plan for something like carrying an inhaler or an EpiPen. Those must be updated or your child will be excluded from school. If you have not heard anything from us, you're probably okay, but if you need to, you can reach out to Latoya Valise, our school nurse. Your student will need to bring a backpack. We are not using lockers. We just can't facilitate that and maintain a safe distance. So they'll need a backpack. You can bring your lunch from home. That's okay. You can also eat lunch here for free. Everybody eats for free, but you can bring your own lunch. We suggest that kids bring a water bottle. Our drinking fountains are working and kids can use them, but we would suggest a water bottle for them. Masks must be worn at all times. It would be great if you labeled your students' mask with their name. We do have some straps for the kids if they would like to have those to have so that they can have those around their neck if they take their mask off to when they're eating, or possibly if they're having a mask break outside apart from other students. Our students and our staff will be 6 feet apart at all times. Our building is still close to the public. So if you need support from us, you can give us a call at 571-7400. We're gonna try to help you out and do that over the phone just to maintain the highest safety standards. But if we do need to see you in line, or in the building, if there's something that we need to do, that will be by an appointment.
Hold on, Pam.
And so let's see. Next thing, this one is of high importance, really high importance. It's really, really, really a huge thing for you guys to register for the Family app. Every day that your child comes to school in in-person learning, they have to have a health survey done. And it has to be done before they can enter the building. And so we're asking families to have that health survey done, hopefully by about 9:30. That's when we pull our lists to see who does not have it. And those are the lists that we go off of to check when kids are getting out of cars and off buses and walking onto campus. It helps us out a lot and it speeds up our process a whole bunch if that survey is done prior to that. You have to have, there's some pieces with that. You have to first apply to the Family app, and you'll need to know what your email address is that we have on file for you. That will generate an email invitation to that email, which will then help you fill out the Family app and give you access to the health survey every day. There are a couple of glitches in that, depending on what your email address that we have on file is, or you might not know what your email that we have in file is for us. You can always call the main office and get that information. We have 2 people that are just stellar stars at helping with any kind of glitches that happen in being able to fill that out. That is Susan Byers, our library teacher, who's also functioning as a tech support person this year. And also Alyssa is our AP, is fantastic at it. And she also is Spanish speaking. So if you need a Spanish speaking person to help you navigate that, please reach out to her. Our learning time in building is from 9:45 is our start time, and 3:20 is our dismissal time.
All right, so speaking of the Family app, I have registered as many families as I could. I sent all of our families an email last week saying, let me know if you would like me not to register you. Thank you, everyone. No one told me not to. So then you should have gotten a follow-up email from me with a screenshot of what to do, and look for an email from Microsoft. It looks like this right here. You just got to click on this blue accept invitation. And this is where you have to, from yourself, it'll depend on what it wants you to do. Some of you guys, it's create an account. Some of you guys, it's, oh, can you please put in your password? It's your password for Microsoft. Most people don't remember it, so it's easier just to do a whole new password. If you do not do your students' COVID survey, we cannot take your kid until it's done. So it definitely makes it easier for you to have it done before your kid arrives in the morning. If you have any technical difficulties, I've been making appointments with families and helping them out to get them ready for day 1. Just as a side note, there's a lot of different terms that people have been using. So Family app is where you go to do the survey, and then in the Family app is the survey. This is a picture of the Family app right here, and it's going to have a lot of more features in the future. Currently, its main function is the COVID survey. This also confuses people because it's called a Family app. It is not yet an app. Do not go to the App Store looking for it. You can only access it on the Tacoma Public Schools website. It's located at the very top. Okay, what it looks like in the morning when you guys come to drop your kids off. Students cannot come in the building earlier than 9:45. We don't have adults out there. No one will be taking your children before that time. We do open up the upper parking lot so you can drive in and get lined up in the line of cars if you'd like to do that. Again, no kids can be dropped off until 9:45. As Joni said, building access is closed. Drop off in the morning takes all hands on deck. So we just try not to make appointments during that time. If you at all arrive late, go to the main doors and call the office and let them know you're here, and then someone will come assist you. We have two main areas in the big parking lot. Drive through. You must remain in your car. You cannot park. It is one-way traffic, one long line, and we get your kids out as quick as possible. But again, nobody can park. It's just one way full flow of traffic. If you're a walker, you can drop your kids off. There's a big sign by the small playground. We ask you not to congregate. Just let us, once we got your kid and we get them in line into the building, please don't congregate around the building just to honor social distancing. We have 3 stations where kids come in. One is the drive-through in the big upper parking lot. And we have walkers who come to the small playground by the picnic area, and kids who arrive on buses. Only 3 locations. No parents may enter or park in our main parking lot. That is only designated for busers and students who are in our developmental program. So please know that you cannot park there because it becomes an issue with our buses entering. In the afternoon for pickup, same 3 locations. If you are driving here to pick up your kid, you'll enter in the line that you'll see in the upper parking lot. You'll have a sign that gives us your student's name so we can easily see it and radio for them to come to your car. And then we just get the kids as quickly as we can to your car. We have different locations where kids are located to keep them socially distanced. And walkers, you come right to the small playground and one of our staff members will be there to help you get your kid. Again, we ask that you do not congregate. Once you get your kid, go ahead and go. And then the bus is the normal thing. The busers will get on the bus and head home. If your address has changed by any means, please let us know ASAP. We're going off what we have from last year for buses. So if your address has changed, we need to know so we can update your students' bus information. Joni.
All righty. On the school bus, if your child rides the school bus, the students are required to wear a mask on the bus. We are trying to reduce close contact according to guidance from the health authorities, and students will be kept as far apart as possible on the bus. We will load the buses from the back forward with 1 student per seat, unless there are family members, and family members will be asked to sit together because they're already have close contact. And so that will free up some seats for students that do not have family members. And then we'll keep kids in 1 to a seat as long as we can. And if the bus gets too full, then we will go to 2 students per seat, which is acceptable. We will follow a cleaning protocol. Every time a bus unloads, the driver gets off and gets cleaning equipment from the school site and cleans the bus before they pick up the next load of children. So if our buses have picked up and delivered some children from Stewart, let's say, before they leave Stewart, they will clean the bus, wipe down all of the surfaces with the spray that is directed by the health and safety protocols, and then they will go off and pick up their next load of students. Bus schedules will be ready this week. We'll share that information. You can always go into Tacoma Public Schools website, click on the bus icon, put your address in there, and it will give you the schedule for the buses and let you know what time your bus stop picks up and drops off. Next slide. There we go. So scheduling, this is just an example for scheduling. And so let's say that you are a 4th grader and you are in cohort A, and you look over on the left side of your screen there. So that means that on Mondays and Tuesdays, you will be at school in-person learning from 9:45 until 3:25. And about 3:10 to 3:25, we start beginning to transition to going home. See that there's some independent learning time from 9:15 to 9:45, and again from 3:25 to 3:45. On Wednesdays, we talked a little bit about this, that the teachers have a little bit of flexibility. We are asking that they do a class meeting in the morning and a class meeting in the afternoon, and then have some independent and remote office hours or small groups during the day. If you are a cohort A student on Thursdays and Fridays, you are doing independent learning only. The teachers will have posted links and posted asynchronous learning for your student to be working on independently on Thursday and Friday. They will also have both their independent music and PE and their live music and PE on Thursday and Friday. Then if you go over and you say, okay, my student's in cohort B, it's just flip-flopped. Your student, if they are in cohort B, on Mondays and Tuesdays, they would be doing that remote independent learning, and both their live music and PE and their independent music and PE with teacher posted links and work to do independently on Mondays and Tuesdays. On Wednesdays, they would participate in those class meetings and some of the small group or office hour instruction, and then they will be in person on Thursdays and Fridays. And fifth grade will work exactly the same way, just with fifth graders. So this year we are lucky. We have got all meals are free for all BLIC students. For fourth and fifth graders, as you arrive at school, you will be directed to enter either through the double doors at the gym entrance or coming around from the back. If you're a busser, into the hallway and then into the gym to pick up a breakfast that you will then take up to the classroom and will be eaten in the classroom. Lunches for fourth and fifth graders will be eaten in the classroom. The students will be walked down to walk through the cafeteria to pick up their lunch and then return to the classroom. We will maintain 6 feet of distance during walking times and also in the classroom. Your students will wash their hands before and after meals, and their table or desk will be washed or cleaned off before and after meals. Our drinking fountains, again, can be used. We ask that students keep their mouth off of the drinking fountain. Those are cleaned throughout the day by our custodian as a high touch and high frequency touch place. And we suggest a water bottle that kids can use to fill up a water bottle rather than using the drinking fountain just to get a drink. All right, recess. During recess, we have got our playground divided up into separate play zones. And we've got outdoor, our field, our play shed, our cement area in front of the play shed that has our 4 square pieces, our playground, and then again, our small playground only for our first graders and kindergartners. The playground is cleaned regularly and routinely, and there are staggered entry and exit times. During the time that your student is on the playground, they will be assigned daily to a zone. They must play in that zone with their own class, and that will keep them from having multiple exposures and multiple contact with other classes. That's a new thing this year. It's worked out really well. For our cohorts, we're at about 15 students or less on each of our days. And so there's plenty of spaces for the kids to be playing with only 15 kids in a zone. Let's see, there may be moments at time during recess when kids are a little bit less than 6 feet apart. We do ask that they keep their mask on unless they are in a space where they're having a mask break that is isolated away from other students. But a brief passing of less than 6 feet apart in an outdoor open area is considered a very low risk. Let's see. Like we said, if the students are not wearing their masks, they need a mask break at recess, they must stay in an isolated area and stay 6 feet apart from others. We've got the lanyards that your student will be offered if they would like that during a mask break, so that they won't have to get to hold their mask or keep track of it or put it away any place. Students will wash their hands after they come in. Soap and water is our go-to best bet, but hand sanitizer is a good backup second for washing hands during the day or sanitizing hands during the day.
All right. Speaking of the schedule, PE and music, our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders are in cohorts. So we've had to split our students up into cohort A and cohort B. That now gives us like 6 classes for 3rd grade and whatnot, because we have double the amount of groups now. So to make it to where we can still provide PE music for our kiddos, we're combining classes that are in cohorts. For instance, PE could have cohort A of Miss Duval. And well, I guess you guys are 4th and 5th grade families. So we could have for 4th grade, half of Miss Iris and half of Schleiby's class together in PE. PE and music will only be done while the students are at home during independent learning time, which is noted in the schedule that our teachers can share with you guys. Then they simply access that PE or music time via the teachers' teams. Our PE and music teachers will paste a link, one for independent learning that the kids can do whenever they want, and then the live link for the scheduled time that they have PE and or music. They simply click the link and go straight to their live PE or music class. There will be no join meeting button or option. They click the link and they go straight to the live meeting. And that's just how we're going to be doing PE and music. Again, it's only when the kiddos are at home during independent learning time that they will have their live PE and music class. Your teacher can let you know when that scheduled time is for your students.
All right. In order to maintain a safe learning environment, we have physical distancing set up. There's a maximum of 15 students per classroom at this time. There are 6 feet of distance between students and staff. Our seating assignments in classrooms are marked for distance. That's been done far in advance. Our school hallways are taped with markers to indicate 6 feet apart. We'll do some teaching and learning on the first few days back in the building so that kids understand exactly what the expectations are for remaining 6 feet apart, and they're traveling through the throughout the building. Some of our hallways have directional arrows that are marked to limit contact. Our restrooms have been modified with some of the stalls or urinals taped off to not be used. And we can only have 3 students in a bathroom at a time. We're limiting how many kids are out of a classroom on a bathroom break at a time to ensure that safety and distance is maintained. In a few of our classes, but not in any of our 4th and 5th grade classrooms, we do have small restrooms with 1 person at a time, but that is not an option in our 4th and 5th grade classrooms. So we'll be, again, giving directions and practicing how to use the restroom in a social distancing appropriate manner for 4th and 5th graders in those first few days back at school. Hygiene practices. So we will be doing lots of hand washing at school. Like I said, hand washing with soap and water for 20 seconds is the best. If not, hand sanitizer is a great backup and a good second choice. Any materials or books that are shared will be cleaned in between each student. The teachers are ensuring that students have their own materials to use at their own space, and that those will not be shared if they're to be used over and over. Anything that is shared, one student will use it, it will be cleaned in between with an approved cleaner and left for 1 minute of drying time between student use if that is something that a teacher decides to use in the classroom. If an item hasn't been used in over 7 days, we don't have to disinfect it, but we do have approved by health and safety guidelines cleaner that is a 1 minute spray that teachers can utilize in the classroom. We are doing a really good job of keeping kids to have their own supplies that they are using just for them. We are cleaning and disinfecting frequently touched surfaces throughout the day. Our custodian does round throughout the day, and then the classrooms are cleaned and disinfected at night, each night.
Oh gosh, I feel like we're already at the end of the PowerPoint. I feel like, did I miss some slides? Like I need to go back.
We're getting good at this. This is like our 5th time, so.
Yeah. So I guess we got time for questions. To wrap up, things to know, the most important things to know, because we know we gave you a lot of information. You hear a lot of information, you get a lot of emails from the district, from us, you name it. What are the most important things to remember for day 1 of your kiddos coming to us? Know which cohort your students are in, because they're going to stay in those cohorts for the rest of the school year. That way you know if it's an A day, if it's Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, Friday. If you have any address change or anything, please let us know. We want to be able to communicate with you. We want to be able to have the correct bus information. whatnot. So please make sure we have updated address information. Register for the family app. The next slide has my contact information, Joni's contact, and another tech support person we have in the building. So if you need any support with anything, we'd love to help you. It's definitely, whenever we have a new grade level come back, we notice that it takes longer to get kids into the building in the morning. So we'd love to help you ahead of time so you can drop your student off as quick as possible within the safety and health guidelines that we need to follow. Practice that mask wearing. We have had amazing students in the building and we've had no issues. No, our kids are wearing their masks, they're honoring social distancing, they're washing their hands. So we ask you to do the same with your kiddos, get them to prepared and practicing wearing their mask so they can have it on during the day here. And again, school is 9:45 to 3:20. Here is the contact information if you need any of us. Si alguien habla español y necesita hablar conmigo, ahí está mi información. O si quieren poner una pregunta en español aquí, puedo contestar ahora. So there's the information for Joni Hall, our principal, myself, Alyssa Farias, and our library and tech support, Susan Byers, who's also happy to assist you guys. I see one of the questions in the chat box. Is there a menu that we have access to? As in, I'm assuming you mean a cafeteria food menu. Joni, I'm trying to think.
And I answered back to that one in, it should be posted on the TPS website under school lunch and nutrition services. They should have that posted. For a little bit at the beginning when we brought back our first kids, we were using, some buildings had different menus, but I do believe that everybody's on the same menu at this point and it should be posted. There's a mix of hot food and cold food, just kind of depending on the day. So take a look for that. If you don't find it, give us a call or an email and we'll look into that for you a little bit more. I just cannot stress enough that the one big thing that I would say is our huge ask of you as families is please get that family app filled out and please do that health survey every day. And really it's more for you and your child than it is for us because we know the line is longer this year. We know, and we are trying our very best to shorten the wait time of getting kids out, but we have to put our kids and our staff safety first. And having that health survey done is the biggest thing. But if it's done, it is a million times quicker to get your student out of the car, into school, into their classroom, and get them going learning, rather than having to keep them outside and make phone calls, or to go over and looking for a way to get them into the room. We cannot let them into their classroom until we have contacted somebody if they don't come with the health survey done. So the best way to get your child to class and get you back on the road and out of the parking lot is to get that family app done and do their health survey every day. We appreciate that a ton. So yeah, we have a few minutes for questions. If you have more questions, I'm gonna pull the chat up here.
I even went through the PowerPoint really quick. Did we miss any slides? No, we didn't miss anything. We've just done this enough that we did it quick and you guys didn't have as many questions.
Yeah, I think we've just gotten better since we've done it 5 times. Thank you, Leisha, for sending us great kids. Thanks to all of you for sending us great kids. I've just been so impressed with the level of resilience of our kids and how much they are able to say, to come in and walk in and wear their mask. I think my biggest concern was how are we going to have 5-year-olds who've never been at school come in and wear masks and not and stay, social distance from people. And the kids have stepped up in a big way. So it's going to be exciting to have some of our leaders in our school back, our 4th and our 5th graders. And I'm looking forward to the same kind of bringing in of a new grade level that we've had with all of our grade levels that the kids are just doing a wonderful job. And so we give it up to you families and thank you for all of the work that you've done over, the past year, because we are almost to March 13th, which was the day we went home last year. And that you've done over the year in making sure that your kids are practicing safety and health practices and that they're ready to come back and be safe in our school.
So I guess I don't see any more questions in the chat box. I'm going to stop recording and I will be posting this recording plus the PowerPoint onto our Blix Facebook page and our Blix Schoology page, so you can access any of the information if you need it. So I'm going to go ahead and stop recording now.
And again, you guys can you can contact us by email, by phone.